Good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure to speak to you at the Asian Insurance Forum 2024, an impressive conference organized by the Hong Kong Insurance Authority. Thank you, Clement, for your kind invitation, and apologies for not being able to be with you in person today. Today's theme, Rising to the Challenge Amidst Global Volatility, could not be more timely and indeed of global imperative for us at the IAIS as the global standard setter for insurance supervision, but also for our members, for the sector, and indeed society at large. Let me start my remarks with some reflection on the Global Insurance Capital Standard, or ICS, a milestone achievement for the IAIS. A key element of maintaining a strong and resilient insurance sector, and one that's able to respond to the societal challenges of the day, is ensuring the effective cross-border supervision of internationally active insurance groups, or IAIGs, the 59 large global groups that make up a significant portion of worldwide premiums. And just last week, at our AGM in Cape Town, the ICS was formally adopted by our members. This finalizes a landmark project that has been over a decade in the making. And the ICS provides, for the first time, a globally comparable risk-based measure of capital adequacy specifically tailored to IAIGs, and it forms the quantitative element of the common framework for the supervision of internationally active insurance groups. So we now have a complete package for the supervision of these IAIGs. Arriving at this agreement has not been easy. It's a remarkable achievement for the IAIS and its members. It will enhance the effectiveness of global insurance supervision and strengthen the resilience of the global insurance sector. We will now turn to the implementation phase of the ICS and making sure that the ICS is implemented comprehensively and consistently across jurisdictions around the world. We've agreed on implementation support to our members, and we've agreed on an approach to implementation assessment starting in 2026 with more intensive jurisdictional assessments aiming to start in 2027. We've agreed that there will be a consistent methodology for these assessments across these implementation assessments across all jurisdictions where IAIGs are headquartered, including the implementation assessment of the aggregation method in the US as the US's implementation of the ICS. Let me now turn to another core IAIS contribution to supporting a strong and stable insurance sector, namely identifying, assessing, and addressing global insurance market developments with our macroprudential surveillance and coordinated macroprudential policy measures. Through the IAIS's annual Global Monitoring Exercise, or GME, which is a key element of the holistic framework, we have significantly improved our ability to identify and monitor risks in the global insurance sector. Coupled with our macroprudential policy measures designed to increase the overall resilience of the insurance sector and help prevent insurance sector vulnerabilities from developing into systemic risk, the GME provides a strong yet flexible framework that supports the supervisory community to assess and address both inward and outward financial stability risks. Our GME provides an important empirical basis covering more than 90% of global written premiums. We continue to monitor key risks and trends with our own GME and ensure that the tools available to supervisors are up to the task. Last week, again in Cape Town, we published a detailed analysis in our 2024 Global Insurance Market Report, or GMAR. Currently, there are two sector-wide themes that demand our focus. The first theme focuses on how the insurance sector is managing the complexities of fluctuating interest rates, ensuring adequate liquidity to meet obligations, and managing credit risks. And key areas of insurance supervisory attention here relate to surrender risk, debt sustainability of fixed income assets, risks related to commercial real estate exposures, the impact of derivatives and margin calls, the impact of artificial intelligence, digitalization, and transmission channels from geopolitical risk. The second theme covers the structural shifts that we have identified in the life insurance sector, focusing on two critical areas. First, the growing allocation of capital by insurers to alternative assets. And second, the increasing use of cross-border asset-intensive reinsurance. And these two trends are interrelated. To follow up more in depth, we are developing an issues paper that will provide an assessment of the key supervisory issues and practices in response to these two structural shifts. The issues paper will inform in future enhancements to the IAIS's supervisory and supporting material where necessary to ensure a globally coordinated supervisory response to these trends. Public consultation is scheduled for March next year. Lastly, looking ahead, let me start by highlighting that the challenges and opportunities currently affecting the global insurance sector, and therefore also insurance supervision, are increasingly interconnected. Global, regional, and local trends are intertwined, especially in periods of turbulence, such as those caused by geopolitical tensions and macroeconomic imbalances. This is very much reflected in our new IAIS Strategic Plan 2025 to 2029, which we published at the end of October and will start living from next year. It comes as no surprise that two of our key strategic themes cover, firstly, strengthening the supervisory response to climate change, and secondly, supporting adaptation to increasing digital innovation, including AI, and the related cyber risks. And our third and final strategic theme, which is a new one for us and I think a very important one, is supporting insurance to serve its critical societal purpose of building resilience. And this speaks to how insurance supervisors will need to rise to the challenge and play an important role in supporting and indeed sometimes shepherding insurers to deliver on this societal purpose. And it includes a multitude of complex topics like protection gaps, like financial inclusion, like fair treatment of customers, which will require very much a multi-stakeholder approach to address. And one of the critical issues that we are faced with are natural catastrophe or NatCat protection gaps. As this theme goes beyond the scope of traditional insurance supervision and touches broader public policy objectives, we will look to expand our engagement with policymakers and international partners. Recent examples of successful collaboration in this regard include our joint work firstly with the IMF, for example, on the high-level panel on protection gaps as part of the IMF's most recent annual meetings, the first time that an insurance topic had been brought to the IMF annual meetings. And secondly, with the OECD to support the G7 publication of a high-level framework for public-private insurance programs against natural hazards. We will start our own work on the 2025 Global Insurance Market Report Special Topic Edition on the potential financial stability impact of Nat Cat protection gaps, to be published next year. So, to finish up, what I hope to have left you with this morning is to remind ourselves that we each have a respective role in rising to the challenge, and that today, as much as ever, we need a collective response to tackle some of the most pressing issues that we're faced with in the world today. Before I conclude, I did want to say one last word, which is to extend our heartfelt gratitude to the Hong Kong Insurance Authority for graciously agreeing to host our IAIS Annual General Meeting and Annual Conference in 2026. So we look forward to that. We're truly honoured and excited to bring our IAIS event, our big annual conference, to such a vibrant and dynamic city. We know that the Insurance Authority will do a fantastic job in organising an unforgettable conference then. So with that, I wish you a very fruitful discussion today on topics which are key to all of us in rising to the challenge. Thank you.